Current events in the United States have brought to light a fact that has always been known but seldom addressed in the religious world. Social media as a whole is a detriment to Christianity. It does not improve the reputation of Christianity, and it is not a tool to evangelize or change minds, as so many people try to suggest. And we will explain why briefly. What we have seen in the church today is that men have two different avatars to their character. They have who they are online and who they are in the church. Unfortunately, the difference between these two avatars is often stark. Men will post statements on social media that make them look ridiculous, uninformed, and unable to think with their rational minds. Between the arguing, pandering, and simply foolish behavior that is displayed when men post their idiotic thoughts on social media, these men damage their own reputations and divide other Christians by the way they act in the virtual world. Point number 1. Church ministers and leaders should delete their social media accounts. Few things are more discouraging to see than ministers or leaders in the church engaged in stupid behavior on the internet. It is as if these men forget that the entire universe is privy to what they are typing on their selected social media platform. You can find time and time again where church leaders alienate half of the congregation because they decide to engage in a social media debate or unnecessarily take a political position. If a church leader engages in a social media debate, the church should decide if that man has the temperament or even the basic understanding of human nature necessary to lead a congregation of people. If a church leader wants to take a stand for a position, whether religious, political, or otherwise, he must do so within the church in the physical presence of others. Posting statements online is easy and cowardly. Men can write out their opinions from the safety of their home and suffer no retribution, aside from the assorted hate comments from the equally brave keyboard warriors who disagree. Church leaders and Christians in general are in the habit of posting things on social media they would be ashamed of if everyone at their church could see. Here is a good rule of thumb, gentlemen. If you would be ashamed for your social media post to be put on a big screen in front of your church family, why are you posting that content for the entire universe to see? This is important for Christian women on social media as well. If you wouldn't want an elder in the church to see you sporting a G-string, then why are you showing that to the world? And let me guess, you also want to be a strong, independent, respected woman while you dress like a prostitute. A vast quantity of shame and embarrassment could be avoided if men would delete their social media accounts immediately. However, there is one important fact to note. Social media can help you identify wolves in sheep's clothing, if the wolves are stupid enough to post their true beliefs online. This can be observed when a person's words in the pulpit or congregation do not reflect the words he posts on Facebook. If a man is a capitalist in the pulpit and a communist online, then assume he's a communist. Point number 2. Men dishonor themselves on social media. How often have men made sagacious, thoughtful comments on social media? And of the few times that has happened, how many times have people responded to those comments with respect, integrating that wisdom into their own thinking? The answer is that it almost never happens. Individuals are happy with where they are, and changing opinions on any matter involves too much work and too much pain. Most men, however, do not post wisdom online. They post something that demonizes those they disagree with politically and religiously, or they post something that degrades other men or marriage. They post some meme or joke that creates a caricature out of those who have different opinions than their own. Is this behavior constructive? Is it changing minds? Is it spreading the gospel? Is it causing men to become more masculine? The answer to all these questions is a resounding no. Point number 3. Social media debates do not change minds. Individuals arguing on social media are more concerned with the answer to the question, who is right, rather than the answer to the much more important question, what is the truth? For this reason, online debates are meaningless. People are not on social media to have their minds changed. Why would people give up their long-standing beliefs and political opinions because some online avatar shared some caption picture bashing their personal beliefs? Quote, let me post online about how stupid Republicans or Democrats are and then get mad when they don't want to talk to me or convert to my side of the political spectrum, says the standard irrational person. In fact, the majority of people who go online to see what people are talking about religiously or politically are either 1. Looking for something to get angry at because they are addicted to outrage. 2. Looking for something to get offended at because they are addicted to the victim mentality. 3. Looking for a bunch of people to agree with, which is highly productive, of course. Or number 4, observing the warfare as an independent thinker, which is rare. I want you to close your eyes and truly concentrate. Think back to a time when you saw a heated social media discussion that ended with one party saying, quote, "You know, you actually changed my mind. You brought new information to light that I had not previously considered, and as a result, I am updating my opinion. Thank you," end quote. This never happens, because people do not enter social media circles with open minds. They enter with the intent to go to war, play the victim, or become outraged. Because people have access to other individuals who agree with them, even a person with the most ignorant beliefs can think they are of the correct opinion because a few dozen equally ignorant people agree with them. If a person belongs to the hypothetical religion that worships Godzilla, they have instant access online to a bunch of other people who also worship Godzilla. Before long, they begin to think Godzilla is the, quote, one true god of the multiverse, and that everyone should be worshiping him. Before social media existed, that same person would have been rocking back and forth in their grandmother's basement mumbling to themselves about Godzilla, and they never would have expanded their absurd beliefs to the rest of the world, likely because they would have been institutionalized for that belief. The same thing happens with people online who believe in equally absurd things like socialism. Groups of people can get in a chat room with a bunch of like-minded dweebs and think they have the truth of reality in their palms that was somehow hidden from the rest of humanity for centuries. This creates an online, mob-like groupthink situation where people can never elevate their mental perspective and observe their personal beliefs rationally by searching for flaws in their thoughts and seeking the fundamental truths of reality. Point number 4. Men damage their biblical credibility when they behave poorly online. When was the last time you were a spectator to a brutal online religious debate between people in your church? And you came away from the experience thinking, you know, I truly admire these individuals who are arguing and fighting it out like children on a playground replete with insults and personal degradation. I think I'll consider them experts for other religious matters that I'm curious about, end quote. This does not happen. Online debates leave a bitter taste in the mouth of all parties involved. There's never any true satisfaction at the end, even if there is a semi-clear winner. Feel free to explain how there is a winner in an online argument when all that was accomplished was the deepening of the ideological divide that already exists within churches. Do not debate with others online. You are only damaging your own reputation. Point number 5. Social media generates conflict and discord. Perhaps the most insidious thing to see on social media is Christian individuals sowing discord among the brethren. Make no mistake, this behavior is an abomination to God. Quote, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Proverbs 6, verses 16 to 19. Many men in the church are by definition abominations to the Lord. Why? Because whether knowingly or not, they're causing division in the church. Social media is a breeding ground for division and sectarianism. This cannot be overstated. If an individual is dividing brethren, he is an abomination. To be an abomination is to literally be detestable before the Lord, to be an object of loathing, says BibleHub.com, the Hebrew Bible. Take a look at these following passages of the Word of God, the word that these same Christian individuals claim to be using as the guiding document for their lifestyle and faith. Compare that word to their actions. Quote, I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them. It's Romans 16, verse 17. Quote, now the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, impurity, sensuality, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, revelries, dissensions, divisions, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and things like these.